Hey guys, it's crappy product time, and we are talking about concealers on this Monday, and I have a roundup of different concealers that claim to do different things that I think for me did not work out well. I usually bring regret videos as a whole, but you guys seem to like the breakdown of a category, so I'm going to continue doing this as long as you guys like it. Let me know in the comments below, what other category do we want to see? Do you want to see specifically mascaras, liners, lipsticks? Let me know. I read everything. And we're just going to hop right in to the worst drugstore concealers. Now, this is in no particular order, but I do want to start out with the shiniest, most eye-catching package of them all here on my table. This is from Physicians Formula. This is the BB concealer. This is in light medium. I feel like this tries to be the Age Rewind from Maybelline with the kind of sponge tip top. When you go to blend this underneath your eye, it is just way too liquidy and it shears out too much. It's really greasy. It doesn't dry down. It's really tough to put powder on top of too. It just does not want to dry. So it stays very dewy, which would be fine. But the problem with that is if you don't use a powder on top of a product like this, it's going to crease, and it creases really fast. So within like 15 minutes, no exaggeration, you have a lot of creases. But if you go to put powder on top of that, it just gets kind of clumpy and it's just a weird texture thing and does not give the right amount of coverage. The applicator is kind of wonky and I just don't like it. The one thing with Physicians Formula that kind of makes me go, oh my goodness, they have so many claims on every single product, like 20 different things that are going on. And you read it and you're like, wouldn't that be like a dream come true? But more often than not, it doesn't do like all of that. Do you know what I mean? Some of their products are totally awesome. I love their highlighters, their mascara, but some of the products are just like, like really, I think that's a bit much. So we're moving into one more product from Physicians Formula. This is the CC Color Correction and Care Concealer. Now, the problem that I have with this one, again, it is pretty sheer, but this, even you can like smell it. Kind of frowned upon to have a lot of SPF in your foundation if you're going to be doing like an evening out and like a lot of photography and a lot of flash. I usually can get away with it. Sometimes it's like foundation to foundation. It depends if it's going to do that. But with a concealer that is really heavy in SPF, you're going to get that like white cast underneath your eyes, and it is so not cute. Now, the other thing that I don't like about this, again, is with Physicians Formula, I find that they have that kind of wet, tacky type of a finish that just does not want to dry down. It does not give you a ton of coverage, so you really feel like you're doing a lot of work for not a lot of payoff. And I know that there are much better at the drugstore. That's why I just don't like this one. If you love this type of an applicator, L'Oreal has a Magic Lumi that's pretty good, and then Maybelline has one that is similar, like with the little lipstick type wand applicator that's a little more sheer than the Age Rewind. If you like that type of a product, I'm going to list those in the description box below. Those, in my opinion, are better than this, but for me, I typically want more coverage from a concealer, so I don't like that type of a product anyway in general on a day-to-day basis. But if you're looking at this variety, I don't like this one. Does that make sense? Let's talk about concealing acne, everybody's favorite thing in the world. I actually have like one giant blemish, because I hate the word zit. It's just, I don't like that word. Giant blemish, I never break out. Like, I don't even know what this situation right here is, but when I reach for a concealer to kind of make you maybe not notice this so much, I want something that is really pigmented, that I can kind of use a detailed brush, pat it on, and make as much of it disappear as possible and not exaggerate it. This is a product from Neutrogena. This is called the Skin Clearing Blemish Concealer. This has micro clear technology. Now, something really good about this product is it has ingredients that are going to help out your breakout situation. The bad thing is it does not have enough pigment. So for something that is going to kind of, you know, help a breakout and cover it, in my mind, I would like a thicker, more pigmented, more high coverage concealer. So I don't think this is worth it at all. You can see right here, it's just really sheer. It doesn't pack the right amount of punch that I need when I don't want the world looking at my blemish. This is a pass. I'm just gonna say it in general. These type of little like lipstick looking concealers from the drugstore, I do not like at all. At all. They sit on the skin so weird. There are so many better options. I just feel like this looks like makeup in such a bad way when you are taking so much product, and I don't think that most of us in the morning have time to like take a brush and do this, and we're not shearing it out. And this type of a product really needs to be sheared out. So if you're looking for convenience of like everyday makeup, I would avoid this type of a concealer. It's just gonna be too much. It's gonna look really heavy. It's gonna move around. It's gonna sink into fine lines. It's gonna exaggerate pores. It's just not the way to go in my opinion. There are much better options. Get a concealer that is more in a pan where you are forced to use a brush and you're not gonna be kind of swiping it all over your face. And I just think that in a pan, they tend to have a little bit more of a dry finish. These always, in my mind, like every time that I've tried out this type of a concealer, it just has this like shiny, waxy finish, and I don't think it's the greatest. You might be thinking, hey, that's like $5. Yay. Spend an extra $4. Get something that is really just gonna make you look incredible, that's gonna make you look in the mirror halfway through the day and not feel like everything that you don't want exaggerated is exaggerated, you know? Now, this is kind of a weird thing. This is from Revlon. No one talks about this. So of course I was like on a mission trying new things that no one talks about. This is the Targeted Dark Spot Concealer Treatment. This is a much thicker type of a concealer than what you would get in a wand like this, or what you would get even in the Age Rewind from Maybelline. So the problem with this is the tip is so giant. If you are trying to target areas to conceal, it dispenses too much of the product, and the product itself is really thick in coverage, and it's just gonna be very, very heavy, and too, like a little bit goes a long way. And normally that's a great thing, but with this, it's going way too far. So maybe you're concealing an entire area and the makeup's looking heavier and you really just wanted to conceal just that one age spot or sunspot or hyperpigmentation or blemish or whatever it is where you needed that extra dose of pigment in your concealer. This is just gonna give you too much with this kind of an applicator. And I don't really like the tackiness of it when it dries down. It is so just like heavy and stiff. It's a texture that you have to kind of see to believe. Like there's no pull on here. So once it's on your face, it's on your face, it's locked in, which is a good thing. But if there's any misblending, it's gonna stand out and you kind of can't fix it. So I don't like this one. It is in the worst pile. So is this. I mentioned in my favorites and hate-its for CoverGirl, I talked about how I'm not a big fan of CoverGirl concealers in general. This one is my least favorite. This is the Invisible Concealer. The problem is it's kind of chalky, it's inconsistent, it doesn't cover like the same everywhere, it's kind of patchy. And it tries to be invisible and like kind of lifelike with the skin, but to me, in my mind, I always notice it when I'm wearing it. And it's giving me coverage unevenly, which is a nightmare if you're trying to get rid of dark circles. You know what I'm talking about. You go to blend it out and there's like pigment here that's like, oh, we're looking nice in this area. But then for some reason, you pulled the product away from the inner corner and it just doesn't want to blend well or sit well. Don't like it. I think that this type of a formula, the Maybelline Fit Me, is lifetimes better. So that would be like my option to go for if you like this type of a tube, this type of an applicator. That one is so much better. Let me know what you want to see for a future worst products video. Should I even do like worst expensive concealers, worst expensive foundations? Let me know in the comments what you want to see, what you're curious about, what you want more of. I do read everything. And I am going to sign off, go make myself some tea. And I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you all in tomorrow's video. Mwah.